Iran suffer two scares, the UAE lands some big punches, and the back-to-back Asian Cup champions Qatar are put on the brink of elimination. Welcome to my AFC November World Cup qualifiers recap. I'm going to go team by team and give you guys my bite-sized takeaways about all the matches that we saw and kind of how my thoughts are about the team overall heading into the next edition of qualifiers. If you guys like videos about Asian football, make sure you hit subscribe, drop a like on the video, and let me know your biggest takeaway from a team in Group A down below in the comments. We'll go ahead and start with Uzbekistan. We're going to talk about the White Wolves first to start this video, losing 3-2 away in Qatar before picking up an extremely narrow 1-0 victory again against North Korea, in which Uzbekistan completely dominated in the first half, should have had 3 goals at least, and then sat back and did nothing at all in the second half. I'll talk about Qatar a little bit first because I know there was some controversy about the referee. I already said in my rapid fire reaction, I'm not concerned about the extra time. Uzbekistan lost the game because Uzbekistan weren't good enough. The first 45 minutes of that 3-2 defeat to Qatar, tell me a time in which Uzbekistan looked worse in a half of football. I'll wait, because I don't remember a time when I saw Uzbekistan look that beatable, where I saw that Uzbek defense get cut up like some prosciutto, bro. It was honestly mind-boggling to watch, and I expected Qatar, after the first half, to win the game 4-0. Now, credit to Uzbekistan, credit to Qatar. The boys dug deep, they clawed back, but how did they score? This is where I'm getting a little bit of a hater hat here with Uzbekistan. That's because I love this national team. 2 headers from Fezalayev? Like, with all due respect, y'all, when are we ever going to see Fezalayev score 2 headers, the shortest guy on the pitch, 2 headers in the same game again? I thought he had a great match. I thought it was a great window for Abelspek overall. He started off really slow in the qualifiers, got all 3 of Uzbekistan's goals in this window. Shout out to him. I love that guy. I'm glad he's breaking out on the scene. Mashadipov as well. Thought he was very good in this window overall. There's some positives for Uzbekistan in this window, but you look at the performances again and you say it's not good enough. Lucas Mendez winner in the 102nd minute or whatever it was a little harsh. I don't know what to say though. Uzbekistan were so bad. They were so bad in the first half that you could say the loss was justified. I'm just going to put it like that. And against North Korea, that game should have never been that close. And once again, it comes down to a Yusupov save session. The dude is playing lifeguard right now for the Uzbek national team, saving yet another penalty. That is 2 games in a row against North Korea where the same thing happened. Number 1, Uzbekistan dominates the first 45 minutes, only score 1. Number 2, Uzbekistan concede a penalty and North Korea misses, saved by Yusupov. And number 3, Katanich decides, hey, we're just not going to ball in the second half. I don't know if Katanich thinks that football matches are only 45 minutes, but somebody should tell him it's 90 minutes, bro. You got to keep playing until the final whistle. And if you sense emotion in my voice, again, it's because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because the performances, this team could do so much better. I understand. Get to the World Cup. That's the objective. I'm on board for that. Uzbekistan will make the World Cup. But right now, it's looking a little bleak, bro. It's looking like survival mode. They're clawing their way to these results at times. And the team is too damn good for that. I know Shukurov went down for North Korea, picked up an injury against Qatar. I know Shomurodov, who I feel really bad for, picked up a groin injury. I don't know how bad it was. Also early in the match against Qatar. I know they were missing guys. It's North Korea. You have to be better than that. At some point, these guys have to come together. And I've been very defensive of Katanich before. I'm losing my patience now. I'm looking at this team and I'm saying, no, somebody could do something with this. I'm not saying sack him. I think he's still done a phenomenal job with Uzbekistan overall when you look at the total body of work. Dude lost his first game in a year. You can't win them all. You're gonna drop points. It's inevitable. I'm not sure if it's panic time for Uzbekistan. You guys let me know in the comments, but there's certainly a couple beads of sweat forming on the forehead, which you guys can't see right now because of my Fallout Boy boy band haircut that I'm deciding to rock right now, but there's a sweat gland and some drops of sweat forming under here, okay? Now, the stats in a nutshell tell a pretty good story about Uzbekistan, and that's where I feel like people who don't watch them play will be very confused at my criticism, which again is coming from a place of love. Let me say that for the second or third time in this video. Of all the teams in Group A in this last round, Uzbekistan created the most chances, 27 chances created. Uzbekistan also allowed the least amount of chances of any team in Group A during this last window, 19 chances allowed. Not bad. bad. The result? Mixed bag. You get 3 points, narrow victory against North Korea. You score 3 goals, all from Faisallayev. You lose ground to the UAE, and you're now 4th in goals scored total on aggregate in Group A. Again, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but I look at this team, and I think they got Kyrgyzstan at home next. Must be a dub. And now everything looks like it's coming down to the UAE away. And I don't think we're going to see another 5-0 or something. I'm going to get to the UAE later. But a win there is much needed for Uzbekistan. It's time to stop doing the bare minimum. I hope the full squad's healthy for that. I hope they're all firing. I hope Katanic goes for it, man. Just go for it. I'm getting so frustrated watching this team because they're so good. They're so good, but they're not playing like it. And they just deserve better. I mean, the World Cup is not that far away, folks. You're probably going to have, 12 matches left? Maybe 14 before the tournament kicks off? Maybe my math is terrible. Maybe it's 22. Doesn't matter. Let me know in the comments for the engagement. Drop a like in the video for the therapy session I'm having about Uzbekistan right now. It's a lot of concern. Because they've done the bare minimum, they can't afford that many more mistakes. I'll put it like that. Now, I'll move on to Iran. Wow. If you want to talk about dominance in the first half, you look that up, dominance in the first half in the dictionary, you see Iran. Really, you just see Mehdi Taremi's face. And then if you look at second half complacency and second half collapse, if you also look that up in the dictionary, you also see Mehdi Taremi's face. I mean, it's incredible. The Jekyll and Hyde performance of the Iranian national team is something that is really pissing off the fans. And I understand it. I'm going to push back a little bit and then also agree, which is going to be weird, but allow me to do so. So, Iran win 3-2 against North Korea. I think it was in Laos. This is why Jack from Deadball TV doesn't care that North Korea came back and made it 3-2. Because that first 45 minutes, even first 50 minutes where it was actually 11v11, Iran were so clear, it was not even funny. They murdered North Korea. They almost dissolved the Kim dynasty. That's how bad of a demolition it was of North Korea. And then what happens? Iran get another red card. What is with this team in red cards? The biggest issue with Iran, it's mental. It's concentration. These guys seriously need a group therapy session. Go somewhere in the Caribbean, consume some hallucinogenic plant, and just buy in. Stay concentrated. Pop Adderall at halftime. Whatever you need to do. That's what's haunting this team. Is Galinoy the greatest coach in AFC? No. He's way overhated, though. I'm just going to say that. He's all right. The problem with this team, they do not stay focused. And I think part of that is because Iran is genuinely putting these games to bed in the 30th minute. And then in the second half, in North Korea, which I think that was down to the red, more so than concentration. In the second half, Iran always collapse. I think they allowed 4 goals in the second half in match day 5 and 6. They allowed 0 in the first half. And I think they scored 1 goal against Kyrgyzstan's Sardar Azmoun beast mode header. Mohammadi, by the way, class player. But for North Korea, I'm not looking into that result at all because I do genuinely think it was a red card. Kyrgyzstan, that's a problem. Going up 2-0 again in the first half, cruise control Iran because they are those guys. They are the second best team in Asia. And then they just down tools. And then Kyrgyzstan equalized through Joe Kojo. Iran say, oh, damn, we're about to drop points here. They start playing hard again for 5 minutes, immediately get a goal again, and then they kind of down tools again. And I think Iran, you got to stay concentrated. And from Galinoy, you got to teach the guys how to control the game. Like, just pass the game away. Just kill the game away with possession when you get the 2-0, 3-0 inevitable lead against other Asian teams. That's what's hurting Iran right now. Now, I'm not as concerned about it right now as most Iranian fans, but I will say this. I hear you guys because at the World Cup, this defense will get you grouped. It's not going to be an issue in Group A. These other teams, they're just not enough to trouble Iran. But Iran, having the center backs that they do, having this tendency to kind of turn off, which maybe we also saw this in the semifinal against Qatar. Maybe that was a bit of that as well, where Iran go up early and then it was almost too good of a start and they didn't know what to do after that. It's going to hurt you against the better teams in the high pressure situations. Is it all Galinoy tactics? I don't think so. I think at some point you got to point the finger at the players as well. I'm not seeing enough fingers pointed at the players from Iran. They're killing the opposition in the first 30 minutes and then they're chilling. That's not a recipe for success long term against the elite of the world. I don't really know what else to say about Iran here. As pedestrian as it's been in the second half, they've still won over and over again. That's mainly due to opposition. It is a systemic problem with the team right now. I'm just not as concerned as everybody else is. Not yet. Because I think if they fix that, oh my lord. I mean, it's going to be tough to take these boys down. Now, a team that's not tough to take down is Kyrgyzstan. These guys are so beatable. It is unbelievable. 6 goals conceded in this win window, losing 3-0 away to the UAE, where they weren't terrible, but they still lost because the defense sucks. And then they lose 3-2 against Iran in Bishkek, where they weren't terrible, but they lost because the defense sucks. The defense is really, really sinking this team. I don't really know what else to say. Tugatayev, who I thought was okay at times throughout qualifying and maybe had one good game at the Asian Cup. I don't know if he's a very good goalkeeper, man. Like, he's got to make a couple more saves back there. Kozubayev, guy looks cool. He's got a cool aesthetic. Not a very good defender. There's nothing that Kyrgyzstan can kind of fall back on to preserve a lead. The only time we've seen them do that, park the bus effectively, it wasn't even parking the bus, but play effective defensive football, was North Korea at home, because North Korea are the most misfiring offensive team not named Saudi Arabia in Asia. So I don't even think that was, oh, look at Kyrgyzstan's defense, they turned over a new leaf. That was, you're playing North Korea, bro. These boys can't shoot. No ballistic missiles. Crazy. I know, but that's the reality here. On the bright side for Kyrgyzstan, you scored 2 goals and came back against Iran. I think Joe Kojo, Shukurov, the attacking unit, continues to be very strong for these guys, outperforming my expectations. But those making the shouts that Kyrgyzstan can get fourth, me, I'm gonna say hard no. I'm just not buying it yet. They're too beatable. Even at home, they fought valiantly, 3 times? And they beat North Korea 1-0. They gotta beat Qatar at home if they want any shot of that 4th place team. And Qatar is gonna be really desperate. And when Qatar is desperate and they have to play, they typically are good. That matches everything for Kyrgyzstan. It's Qatar at home if they want to go to round 4. And even in round 4, I still have serious questions about this team. At the same time, I think they've overperformed my personal expectations, but I still don't think they're very good. They're not a bad team, just too many L's. Not enough draws, too many L's. They are the only team in round 3 that has 5 losses. That is crazy. Again, I'll move on to the best, worst team in football, North Korea. Statistically and performance-wise, pretty decent. Actual results-wise, dead and buried, last, 6th place, 2 draws, 4 losses from 6 games. These guys are crazy to me because they actually play quite well at times. And I think they are the unluckiest team so far in Asia. They've gone 0 for 3 now from the penalty spot. They should have gotten 2 draws against Uzbekistan, and they should have beaten the UAE, who I'll get to next. You know, the new darlings of Asia, they should have beaten them in the UAE. And instead, those misses have cost them 5 points. They should be in 3rd or 4th right now, but instead they're dead last. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Football is not a fair game. You are not owed a single thing. And it's a game of fine margins. And right now, North Korea, they're losing the margins every single time they've lost. And I don't know if they have a Saudi Arabian shooting coach or something, but those 2 teams are the worst shot converting teams in round 3, and it's not even close. The defense actually hasn't been as terrible as I thought recently, especially their goalkeeper. I think he's improved since match day 1 and 2, but they can't score. And so because they can't score, their high octane offense just results in some really entertaining 1-0 or 3-2 losses like we saw against Iran. But I'll maintain they got cooked against Iran. Massacred, ran off the park when it was 11v11. Then they were handed an opportunity by God to get back into that, and they couldn't take it. Iran even threw them an own goal, and they still couldn't do it. One of their 2 goals that they scored was an own goal. I mean, it's incredible with these guys. Like, so close to being good, and yet so far away at the same time. Now, I need to talk about the UAE next, and I'm just going to ask you guys right now, are the UAE actually good, or do they just hate Qatar? Let me know down below in the comments, because I think these guys more just have Qatar's number than they are a good team. I've never said the UAE are bad, but I've always said they're mid. Against Qatar, they are the best team in Asia. Like, they despise these guys. This is a rivalry game, and that's why I'm hesitant to see these 2 results. They've now done the double against Qatar. I'm hesitant to look at that and be like, okay, UAE is top 5. Just hold on. What UAE is definitely top 5 in is the defense. These guys are not giving up a single thing. So in terms of chances allowed, the UAE has allowed 63 chances. And from those 63 chances, they've gotten scored on 4 times. These guys now have the best defense in Group A. I don't know if you guys knew from the rest of the video, Iran and Uzbekistan are in this group, and the UAE has the best defense. They're allowing a goal on 6% of their chances allowed. What does that tell me? That tells me the opposition is getting a lot of shots outside the box. They're conceding shot creating opportunities. They're not conceding good chances. I would love to see big chances allowed. I don't have that data point in front of me. If you guys would like me to have more access to that type of data, you can support me on Patreon. Link is in the description so that I can spend more time finding these numbers for you, because trust me, it takes a long time. I digress. The UAE is extremely good defensively right now. And not only that, offensively, they are clinical monsters. The UAE is converting on 36% 3% of their chances created. Let me say that again. Every 3 chances these guys create, they score. That is an insane clip. What's even more insane is that's the second best in round 3, behind Japan, who score on 37% of their chances created. But we know Japan are just a different animal. But that's insane. Every 3 chances these guys score, that's why they're in third right now in the group. That's why they're nipping on the heels of Uzbekistan. In this window alone, when they, beating Kyrgyzstan 3-0 and then thrashing Qatar 5-0, how many chances do you guys think the UAE created in those 2 games? They created 11 chances. 11 chances, and they scored 8 goals. That is ridiculous, man. That is why they are where they are. And I don't know how much of that goes to Paulo Bento, who I admit I'm a bit of a hater of. I don't know how much of the credit goes to the fact that as an attacking unit, UAE is good. And that's one thing I've always said from the beginning. This team going forward, crazy talented. What I didn't expect is the defense to be this good. What I didn't expect is Issa to continue to be this good as a goalkeeper. That's what's kind of surprising me a little bit. And as a result, in a group where there's a little bit of lethargy with some of the other teams, UAE is capitalizing. Are they back? Are they really good? I'm still going to say no. But if they beat Uzbekistan at home, I mean, meaning myself, and maybe some of you guys on Deadball TV, it will be time to put more respect on these guys. That's the one thing I'm waiting on. Because even though they demolished Qatar in a derby game, revenge for the blockade gate or whatever they called it at the 2019 Asian Cup, they got cooked by Uzbekistan away. Sorry, they did. And they got cooked by North Korea at home. But because their defense is so good, well, they got 1 point from those 2 games. Again, it's game of fine margins. And right now, UAE are overperforming 100%. Can they keep up a 36% conversion rate? Cristiano Ronaldo can't keep up a 36% conversion rate. Is Harif Suhail, who is, by the way, 100% in the AFC round 3 qualifying best 11 right now. And that guy's a freak. I know Fabio Lima, 4 goals. And they were great goals. 2 of them were penalties. I know they were great goals, especially the free kick. But Suhail, bro, without him, this team is not it. Like, he unlocks Al Ghassani. He unlocks Fabio Lima. Kiao, still not a fan of. Still think he's a scrub. But this team is doing better than I thought. Shout out to them. Paulo Bento, not ready to apologize yet. Don't get outplayed by North Korea at home. I'm just waiting on a few things before I can anoint these guys. Now, will they move up in my AFC power rankings? You're damn right they will. Will they move up as high as some Emiratis want? No. Lastly, let's move on to Qatar. The back-to-back Asian Cup champions on the brink of elimination. And I don't mean brink of elimination in round 3. I mean probably most teams would be very comfortable getting Qatar in round 4. Comment if you disagree. I'm pretty sure most teams would take Qatar. You would take a team that has hands down the worst backline in round 3, 17 goals conceded in 6 games, and hands down the worst goalkeeper so far in round 3 in Barsham, who looked like a freak at the Asian Cup. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe they were just on PEDs at the Asian Cup. I mean, I don't know. That's not a serious accusation. Don't quote me on Twitter for that. I will deny it, even though I just caught myself in 4K saying that. My point is, everybody not named Afif and Ali has fallen off a cliff. And Tintin Marquez, who made them very solid, he's either got to blow everything up or he's got to go, which is crazy because he just won the Asian Cup with Qatar. He should have gotten a lifetime contract from that. And instead, here we are, not that much later, a year removed, and we're like, he's got to go because you cannot keep playing with these players in this formation. Lucas Mendez, Mohamed Wad as the left-sided CB and the left wingback might be the weakest. I mean, just attack that over and over and over again, and you're going to win the game. They have zero ability to prevent counterattacks, is what I should say. And I think that's why the UAE has killed them so much. And that's why I can't say the UAE are elite yet. I think Qatar are a perfect team for them to take down. On top of the fact they hate them, it's because the UAE is a very athletic front line, very fast. They play the ball very quickly, and Qatar cannot run with these boys. And we saw that. Lucas Mendez giving up, I'll say, the second worst penalty I've seen in qualifying next to Yazan Al-Arab against Kuwait in match day 1. Just ridiculous penalty. They're completely outclassed and nervous as a team in the back, and they are now on the brink, 100%. In round 4, I wouldn't even be feeling comfortable about that. Akram Afif continues to lead all players in AFC qualifying. He's got 30 chances created in 6 games, which is ridiculous. Like, there's nothing else he can do. They've scored 10 goals, tied for second best in Group A. It would be second best in Group B, and it would be second best in Group C. So we're talking about the 5th best offense, if you want to say that, and the 18th defense. And as a result, you're in 4th place with 7 points. One last stat to highlight just how diabolical they are in the back. Qatar are currently currently allowing a goal on 34% of the chances they allow. So much like I said, UAE are scoring on every third chance, Qatar are conceding a goal on every third chance. Now you might say, Jack, that doesn't really sound like a big deal. Maybe that's very normal for Asian teams for World Cup qualifying. Let me compare that to the rest of Group A for you, okay? So this is the percentage of goals allowed from chances allowed. Qatar, 34%, not good. To go to second, we have to drop 20 percentage points to Kyrgyzstan at 15. In third place, we have North Korea at 14%. Remember, Qatar 34%. Beneath them are Iran at 12%. Then Uzbekistan at 11%, basically tied with Iran, just like these two teams are tied in every single statistical category. They might as well get married. And last, the UAE, 6%. That is why Qatar are in fourth. That is why Qatar have allowed 17 goals. That is why they can't beat anybody. That is why they're not going to the World Cup, because of that right there. Every single team will take advantage of that. I don't care if they play Bahrain. I don't care if they play Oman. I don't care if they play Palestine. They will all beat them in round 4 because of stats like that, especially games played in a neutral venue. It's not going to end well for Qatar. So the downfall is insane. Maybe it's not insane because everybody knew the downfall was coming. It's just insane that they won an Asian Cup during the downfall. That's the insanity to me. And everybody says it's Qatar without the refs. I think it's Qatar without a back line. I think that's what the main problem is here. So they are really up against it. They do not have an easy schedule left. They have North Korea home, Kyrgyzstan away, Iran home, Uzbekistan away. Pray for Qatar. Guys, I'm going to end the video there. I hope you enjoyed my takeaways from the November AFC window. If you did, drop the video a like and let me know your takeaway down below in the comments. This is a bit more long form. It's a bit more chill, but I liked doing it this way because I had a lot to say about these two teams, and I will be doing this for Group B and Group C as well. So hit subscribe for that. Hit subscribe for my updated AFC Power Rankings video dropping. Hit subscribe for more AFC World Cup qualifier live streams. Hit subscribe for the content about the AFF Championship and the Gulf Cup that I'm going to be dropping on the channel. It's going to be absolutely insane, guys. So I hope you guys stick around for that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.